history of the world government's formation has been concealed. To this day, people only know that 20 kingdoms allied to defeat an enemy and establish the government. They swore an oath of peace by placing 20 swords around the empty throne, ensuring no single king would rule the world. But Narona Imu schemed to become the supreme ruler. He never placed his sword, instead putting it in the room of flowers, making the oath invalid for him. I guess it's like a curse from a devil fruit ability, meant for the kings and their descendants. But Imu seems different. He escaped that curse and now rules the world from the shadows. Imu created his own system after the kings of the other 19 families were gone. Imu appointed the 5 elders as the ruling system in their place. In reality, he is the supreme being who considers himself the creator of this world. At the same time, Imu continues to search for compatible individuals to create a loyal army of attendants. It seems that upon finding Gunko, he began the process of manipulation, granting her agelessness in exchange for control over her mind and will. The process wasn't easy, which is why Gunko was initially just an attendant. Imu surely tested body possession with many different attendants, and most failed. They would experience some side effect, and things wouldn't go smoothly. Gunko is a compatible body. Imu began to train Gunko more, allowing for an extended duration of possession. This means he could maintain control longer than any previous body Imu tried to inhabit. It must have taken a considerable amount of time for training and practice. Note that it's longer not permanent. Furthermore, why can't Imu possess the bodies of others, like Luffy or Nami? I believe there's a type of bond, like a soul-related magical ritual. If Gunko is harmed, a part of Imu's body will be as well. During this process, Gunko was trained to become a holy knight, a loyal servant to Imu, with the overwhelming power of the Aro Aro no Mi Aro Aro fruit, and also the vessel Imu uses to possess a body anywhere in the world. This suggests that Imu is afflicted by some condition that prevents him from leaving Mary Geoise in his own body. There are several suspicious possibilities. First, Imu's shadow might have been severed by the power of the Kage Kage no Mi. Then, it was hidden by Joy Boy or his allies on the final island, a place almost no one can find without the 4 road pone glyphs. Because the shadow is locked or sealed away, it cannot return to its owner. If Imu were to step into the light with his own body, the sun would burn him to ashes. So, the best method for Imu is to use Gunko's body, which still has its shadow. Then, using spirit possession, he controls Gunko's body to fire arrows from the Aro Aro ability, along with using many other insane powers to transform demonically, as seen on Elbaf. Overall, it leans more towards magical power. Gunko's body isn't strong enough to sustain the possession for long, so Imu can hardly take over her completely and step out into the light. This time limit is the factor that forces Imu to remain in the shadows permanently. Second, Imu could be afflicted with the same Sapphire Scales disease as Bonnie. If he goes out into the sunlight, his body will develop gems, harden, and he will die. It's known that when she contracted this disease, she was predicted not to live past the age of 10, but thanks to Vegapunk's cell replacement technology, she was cured. Why didn't Imu ask Vegapunk for help? Perhaps because he fears the secret of his existence would be discovered by an outsider. Moreover, he can't get to Egghead. He'd turned to stone before he even arrived. What keeps Imu alive is the perennial youth operation from the Opope no Mi. The disease still exists within his body, but it won't kill an ageless person. Those are the 2 issues I believe Imu is facing. It could be one of the 2, which is why he mostly stays in Mary Geoise. 38 years ago at God Valley, upon seeing Rock's Xebec attacking, Imu couldn't let things go too far. The sole possession of Gunko's body took place. Imu used his immense power to send Xebec straight to hell before his body was even found. Recently, I also made a video explaining the D-Clan and the Spacies race. You can watch it again if you're curious about how Xebec and Davy Jones exist inside Blackbeard's body. To add a bit more about Rox and Imu, 56 years ago, Xebec broke into the Room of Flowers and discovered the existence of Imu and his attendant Gunko there. If Xebec was stronger than Imu, he could have killed the king of the world right there, instead of leaving helplessly and promising to return. This point suggests that Imu is protected by something else. Remember the incident where Odin attacked Orochi? Thanks to the invisible barrier from the Bari Bari no Mi, Odin was completely unable to touch Orochi. Orochi was essentially just a usurper, not the true ruler of Wano, which is quite similar to Imu, who only occupies Mary Geoise. Xebec knew he couldn't do anything to Imu in the Room of Flowers, so the best option was to escape and find another way to attack Mary Geoise in the future. Xebec's goal was to become the king of the world, but his plan didn't go as desired. When he failed to convince King Harold, this made Xebec nearly give up on his hope. The promise to return to Mary Geoise was actually a hint at Imu's future demise. Xebec didn't return in his own body, but in the body of his son, the Emperor Blackbeard. Thank you all for watching today's video. What do you think of this analysis? Do you agree that Imu killed Roxy Xebec at God Valley, or do you have a different idea? Don't hesitate to leave your opinions in the comments below. We'll discuss it together to clarify this issue further. If you found this video interesting and informative, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. For now, goodbye and see you again.